This is brand new to us, Deanna. So it's like,
Yeah, so the great thing about DegreeWorks is it does almost everything for you except substitutions. That's the only thing, right? Because they're not, yeah, you know, they're substitutions. They're not built into the degree plans, right? So when we're looking at Caitlin's audit here, um, she is, at least in Banner, she is an AAS student. And we can see the catalog year here. She is a 2019, 2020 catalog year. Gloria Dell was saying, though, that Caitlin thought she could graduate this semester. However, it doesn't look like she meets, yeah, all the requirements. So, you know, she's met all of her requirements for the major, you know, the barbering courses, or she's, you know, currently taking that class, right? We see Barbering 3, she's taking it right now. However, if we look at her general education courses, she still needs computer applications. She still needs her ethics class, a fine arts course, and a physical education elective. With this, though, hopefully you remember this from our meeting last week, most students will have a courses not applied to audit section. All these courses are ones that DegreeWorks is not automatically using somewhere else in the audit above. So these are courses where they have a satisfactory grade. They're, you know, they received a passing grade. It's just that DegreeWorks isn't already using it. So you can often use these courses as substitutions if you want. But that is up to you as the advisor, right? It's at your discretion. So if these courses don't make sense for a substitution, then you don't need to use them. This is basically just a pool of, you know, courses. She has a good grade in. They could be used somewhere in the audit, but right off the bat, DegreeWorks doesn't see a way to use them. Does that make sense for you guys?
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. I just want to make sure we are on the same page. So, you know, this first year seminar course could potentially be substituted for maybe the physical education elective or something else. I'm not sure. I'm not the advisor, so that's up to you guys. She does have a computer literacy course. However, the AAS students are required to take computer applications, which is a 200 level course. Computer literacy is a 100 level course. So often, you know, you want to stay within the same level, right? And then also, so the basic composition, you know, any of these remedial courses that a student receives credit for, you guys already know this, they don't get counted towards graduation, right? They may have to take it as a prereq, but it doesn't count towards graduation.
Deanna, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When she signed up for the course, she signed up to do an associate of applied science in cosmetology or in barbering.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, she doesn't have the requirements. But let's say that she decided not to do the associates and just do the certificate.
Yeah.
That's okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, so Gloria Dell had mentioned this when we lost you. All you would have to do is submit a change of major form to the registrar's office, so they can, you know, within her record and banner, that way they can change her to the certificate. However, in the time being, you know, before that gets done, right? Because you guys, I think, you know, Caitlin has to sign the paperwork to do that. And then I think you guys have to sign it as well. And then it gets sent to the registrar's office, right? So it's got to pass through a lot of hands. It may take a few days. So in the meantime, we can do those what if analyses. So what we would do is you can change the catalog year if you want, but we'll keep her on 1920. Let's say she wanted to do the barbering certificate. So what we'll do is we'll select barbering certificate as her program, and then we have to select the same thing as her major as well. And we'll hit process. And what this does is it just processes an audit like we saw before, but it's just it's a what if, it's a hypothetical analysis. So hypothetical what if analysis. So so we can see that okay, where is that at? Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. I was getting a little lost here. We can see that for the general education requirements, she meets those, right? The comp and the math, and then she meets the, you know, the barbering courses, just like she is with the associates. So it looks like she would be able to graduate with the certificate then. I think I miscalculated the credits right here and I need to change that. Do you guys know for general education, students that are getting us the certificate for general education, do they need 7 credits or 6?
I think 6.
6?
I think 6. I don't know. The English 109 is 3, and the OA math is 117 is
Also
is that
3.
3? I think it's also 3.
So the reason why I ask is because maybe I just did my math wrong.
Maybe not. Maybe it's my.
So let's look at that. Yeah, so it says general education. This is
It's
the
7 credits.
7 credits. Yeah.
So okay. So your business math is 3 credits, and your English composition is 4.
4. Yeah. But that is not what
And we're just using her for for example. She might want to come back. I really think, Gloria, she should come back to complete her hours and then do those other classes to be able to get her.
oh yeah. See, the reason
associates.
yeah, the reason why this is a little messed up is because DegreeWorks is wanting to use English 1 or Composition 1 in the certificate communications area because you know, you usually don't get credit for those remedial courses, but in the case of certificates, you do. So she's meeting all these requirements. That's something that I'll have to get fixed on my end. Yeah.
Deanna, let me ask you another question.
Mhm.
Okay, for your grade point average, how do they calculate the CR, the credit?
That doesn't get calculated.
So even if it's a need, if it's a class that you need for your major,
Mm-hmm.
and you just get credit, they don't calculate it. So that individual, let's say that math was a requirement, if they just get a D in math or D plus, let's say they get A minus, just enough to pass the class,
Mm-hmm.
they still get credit for it, or they don't get credit for it.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's like, that's like,
yeah. So the it doesn't get calculated toward the GPA because it's either a pass or fail class, right? You get credit or you don't. So since, you know, for those remedial courses, you know, the English 109 NL,
mhm.
you only get credit. You don't get an actual grade. So they can't calculate a grade point average for a class that doesn't have a grade. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but to me, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess it would have to be, I guess it would be something that's not required, or it's just maybe a general education course.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I find those just kind of funky, to be honest.
Yeah, because first of
I don't
all,
know.
like first of all, they require my student to get an English 109, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't calculate the grade. So
Right.
how can they get a grade point average if that class is needed and yet it's not used as a grade point average, if it's not, doesn't contribute to a grade point average.
Yeah, it just doesn't, like you said, it doesn't contribute to the grade point average, but all the other courses do. So when you look at,
But excuse me, but if it's a requirement, it should count, shouldn't it?
yeah, that would make sense. But unfortunately it doesn't. That's just something that the college has set up as a rule. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't.
I remember, sorry to interrupt you, but like with the virus going on and that, I remember they sent a memo out that if you want to give your students CR credit, you're welcome to or something, or you can give them the grade. So if they were to give them CR, like she was saying, if some instructors gave CRs, they still wouldn't count them, being because of the pandemic and stuff though.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think a lot of them, like there's quite a few that have CR on their English. Like I know another student has a CR on her English too, and it's English 109. But I don't think they know that it's a remedial, that it doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. That is a that would be a question or a concern for Janice. Simply because it's just a rule that the college has set up. I don't know the whys behind it. If it does cause serious issues though for you guys, I would definitely reach out to Janice and Robert.
Well, the only reason why is that the way I look at it is that English is required, and yet it's okay if they get a CR. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You need it, but it doesn't count. In other words.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Your frustration there, and I could see why students would be frustrated with that too. So I totally see where you're coming from. I just unfortunately don't have any control over that. That is probably something that has been set up for a very, very long time.
I don't remember it being for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm not.
I've been here like 15 years. And I don't remember that it was for a very long time.
But I don't know what to tell you then. I'm sorry.
No. And that's okay.
We're just wondering.
We're just wondering.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I get what you guys mean. So we looked at.
Can I have that other screen back?
The catalog?
Yes, I want to take a picture of that. It's probably in the catalog, but it's so much easier for me to take a picture, because that way we know exactly, Gloria Del.
Good idea.
The grading system, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know they changed it just a while back. Like you can get a low grade on a class that is not towards your major.
So any grade of D+ or lower does not count towards graduation at all. So if a student were to receive a D in a class, they could not use it towards their graduation requirements.
That's exactly, yes. Yeah. You're right. You're correct.
So even if it is a requirement, though, for their major, they have to retake it and get a higher grade.
Yeah, if it's a requirement, yes.
Yeah. What was I? Okay. What was the next student that you guys had questions about?
Did you do Bridget?
We could do Bridget
or
Rosa.
Rosa, if you want.
So her banner ID is, let me find it, 12862.
Okay, Rosa. So can you guys see this right here? It says data refreshed 12/7/2020. So her data hasn't been refreshed in almost 2 months. So we want to make sure that we refresh it then, right? So we just do that by hitting this little refresh button right here. And we can see, you know, this notification, it says data changes were refreshed and a new audit was generated. That means that DegreeWorks picked up changes, whether it be grades were posted or she changed her major or whatever. So it provided a new audit for us. So Rosa is an AAS barbering student, right?
Mhm,
Okay. And she is also a 1920 catalog year.
mhm.
Okay. So as long as you guys agree with that, like I said, you know, DegreeWorks pulls its information directly from Banner. So if the catalog year ever looks wrong to you, you may be advising on a particular catalog year, but that's not what information we have in Banner. So, you know, advisors often change the catalog year for a student, which is fine, but we just want to make sure that you were advising and what year you're advising for is what we have on file, right? So that all looks good.
So
So
she
she's,
told me she was going for her certificate, but she's under financial aid. That's why it probably has associates.
mhm.
So she would just have to add the certificate on the major form.
Yep. Just add the certificate as a major. So, or as a, you know, as a program. We have this for quite a few students that are only planning on getting an associate's, but they have to officially declare a bachelor's, you know, for financial aid purposes or to receive certain scholarships and such, right? So we just want to, you know, we still want to have the associates for Rosa on file. So we just need to add the certificate so she has the two at the same time. Just so she can keep up her financial aid stuff. So we can do the same thing for her. We can pull up a what if analysis for the barbering certificate. Process. And now we can see the barbering certificate audit, even though she has the AAS. In the meantime, until the registrar's office gets it processed, you can do those what if analyses. So I'm not seeing, you know, she needs the communications and she also needs math.
I'm pretty sure she had a math because I printed out her transcript.
It says,
Intermediate algebra, here
intermediate
it is.
algebra.
Yeah,
So you can
algebra.
so that intermediate algebra, we could substitute it for your OA 117.
Okay, yeah, if that's what you guys want to do, you guys are the advisors, it's your decision.
Mhm.
However, you can't do substitutions in DegreeWorks before the major is officially declared, right? So you can't apply it to the certificate degree because, you know, officially, technically, the certificate degree does not exist for her yet. So
Mhm.
once it does, then you guys can go ahead and do those substitutions.
So we have to do the change of major before we can do anything else.
Right, yeah. So is there
How about
another?
her English?
So her English,
It's a credit, so I guess it's okay.
yeah, she's got those 4 credits. This is something I have to fix on my end because I was under the understanding that any courses like this where it's just CR don't count towards graduation, but that's not true.
No, because it's a requirement.
Right, exactly. So I need to fix that on my end. So that's a good thing, you know, that we're going through this because that's not something that I would have noticed on my own, I don't think. So I'll get that fixed. And as soon as I do, I'll send you guys an email letting you know that English class for the certificates is taken care of. I should have that done by the end of the week, so it's not a big deal.
And when are these due, the petitions? Do you know when they're due?
I'm not sure. You'd have to look at the graduation
Okay.
packet. I'm not sure the date that they have selected. And what other students did you guys want to look at?
We could look at, let me get her ID number. 71793.
Okay, Dominique?
Yeah.
Awesome. So if we look at the data refreshed, we see that Dominique has not been refreshed since December 2019. So we need to make sure we refresh her stuff. Okay. So it looks like she is trying to get the AAS, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so far.
So far anyways.
She left.
You have first year experience and Microsoft Word that are courses it looks like she took in the past, but they're not being applied to the audit. So this must have been, I mean, it was back in 2014 and 2016. So based on her current coursework, she still needs business computer applications, the ethics course, a fine arts course, and physical education.
I would think that she's going to want to do the changeover to the certificate, Gloria Dell.
Okay.
I would think so. That's why I'm writing down what she needs to be able to finish with an associate's. But if she wants to finish sooner, she better just change her major.
Because they could always come back, correct? If they still have the major as the associate.
You know what? It would be to their advantage because this major, I have already, you know what, Deanna, I have complained about these associates. The only reason they sign up for the associates is because they get more financial aid, and then at the same time but it's these associates, it's like going nowhere. It's like you're going to hit a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't, in other words, I've always said that we should give them an associates to business, because at least they could continue, even though it would be more credits, it was be taking them somewhere. But these associates to cosmetology takes them nowhere.
Right, because fundamentally
they're hitting a brick wall. They're hitting a brick wall. It's not taking it anywhere.
Because fundamentally, the major courses, you know, just the cosmetology or just the barbering courses are the same, whether it's the certificate or it's the associates. It's those gen ed classes that really don't do a lot that are different.
And if they were designed to be able to use into the business associates, that's what I'm saying. They should design them so that it's to the business associates, because it would take them somewhere.
Right.
This way, it's not taking them anywhere. And I've tried to argue that point for the past 15 years.
I get what you mean, and that definitely would.
I mean, Deanna, okay. So you want to go to school to better yourself. You're going to take classes that are going to enhance your profession, are going to help it. The associate is not helping the students, because there is no job that they can get. They can't get a better job in cosmetology or barbering just because they have an associate's.
Right.
They have an associate's or a certificate, it's the same thing.
Right.
So why not create an associate that will, maybe they need more credits, but it's going to take them somewhere.
Right. I get what you mean.
They can have another path to another career versus nothing.
Right, because, you know, most of the time when you go from a certificate to an associate's or an associate's to a bachelor's degree, there are, you know, more major courses along with more general education courses that you take.
And,
But
and that's
but the
understandable.
major, right, and the major usually, you know, builds off of one another, but that's not the case because the major for cosmetology and barbering is the same as the associates as it is for the certificate. So I get what you mean entirely. If you wanted to, so if you wanted to advise your students to get an associate's in business, what would the major be? What would you advise?
Well, at least they would have an associate's in business.
Right. But what I'm asking is, would you advise for the business administration associates, or would it be for the office administration?
I think anything that would lead them, anything that they would be able to benefit from those credits
Okay.
rather than no benefit at all.
Right. Okay. So let's
So
just
let's say
select.
that they could select one or the other.
Okay. So let's look at, because we can do the what if analysis on this student for the business administration associate's degree. And we can see exactly how many more, you know, like you said, it's going to be more work, it's going to be more classes, but this way we know exactly how many more. She would need an additional 22 credits for general education, and then she would need an additional 23 credits for the major in business administration. So this Microsoft Word and was not being used for her cosmetology degree, but it is being used for the business degree.
Mhm.
I think there was another class, first year experience. No, she doesn't need that.
First year's experience.
Yeah. So you can always use the what if analysis for an entirely different major as well. You know, if you have a student that's in cosmetology right now, but she's thinking about doing biology, you can do the what if analysis for that.
Well, this is good because this way, what if, you know, it gives us a better idea. It gives us an idea of what it can be. Because we, you know what, we have a lot, I've graduated so many students with an associate's, and every time they graduate with an associate's, I think, okay, they're using up their financial aid, they're using up their time, and it's not, and they're not getting anything out of it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So this is great. Like you said, the what if, just to help them see what the other degrees may look like, whether it's business or going from the associates in cosmetology or barbering to the certificate. Yeah. I hate to do this to you guys, but we are like right at the end of our time, and I have my daughter did wake up from her nap, so I do need to go get her. Hopefully Deb responds here soon. Let me double check.
Do you want to set up another appointment, Gloria Dell, if you feel that we need to?